Hey there, Upper East Siders. Manic Media Dream here, and today we are going on a little bit of a date with Gossip Girl. So I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to watch the video I made for New Year's, in which I specifically highlighted a bunch of goals that I'm going to try to follow in the new year. And one of those goals was to make another Gossip Girl video because for those of you who are not aware, this channel literally started because I was going to watch the Gossip Girl reboot. I'm a huge Gossip Girl fan, and growing up, I would watch the show live. When I found out that there was a reboot slash revival, I don't even know what to call it at this point, was happening, I was a bit upset because I'm like, listen, this IP ended perfectly. We don't need to revisit these characters. They ended at a good place. Leave them be. Like, it's fine. 6 seasons with 100+ episodes is enough. Unfortunately, the WB didn't really care, and they ended up starting the revival, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it'll be good. I will cover it on this channel. I will do weekly watches and give feedback on the episodes. Now, if you guys have actually seen those videos where I am doing that, you will know 2 things. You will know, A, I hated the show, the revival, I mean. Awful, absolutely awful. 2, I stopped after, I think, episode 2 or 3 because it was just unbearable and I didn't give 2 Fs about these characters. Yeah, now that there's news that the show has been canceled, as it should, because ew, disgusting, we are going to be watching the first episode of the original Gossip Girl. And this is actually going to fulfill one of the entries on my New Year's list, which is to make another Gossip Girl video. And it is going to be about the original Gossip Girl this time, specifically the pilot episode of the first season. The first season of Gossip Girl is like incredibly iconic. And I thought, hey, it's Valentine's Day and I want to spend it with my favorite girl, and that is Miss Gossip Girl Esquire. So while I know that the show is available in streaming, I am going to be watching it on DVD, and I will be going through the first episode with y'all because I think the show is great and it doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and I'm super happy that the revival is no longer around to tarnish the legacy of the original Gossip Girl. So we are going to do a little bit of an unboxing. Oh, and also I've actually unboxed this set on a separate video of mine. It's I think Gossip Girl the complete series unboxing or something like that. I'll throw a link in somewhere up here. So make sure to check that out if you're a huge fan of Gossip Girl. And what we're going to do is just grab our little disc right here. And then we're just gonna plug it into the Blu-ray player, and we're gonna start with the watch. And we're prepped and ready to go. So what we see in front of us is the DVD menu. I'm sure the Netflix generation has no idea what the DVD menu looks like, but here is a close-up on what that experience is like. What I really appreciate about this DVD menu, sorry, we're just gonna analyze this super quickly. What I really appreciate about this DVD menu is the amount of creativity that went into it. It literally looks like the Gossip Girl website as we know it from the show. And then you basically just have your episodes just listed out for you over here on the side, and the little selector is like a cursor. So it's in the shape of that. So you can basically explore different aspects of like the DVD menu, because it's like super interactive. Like you have your, I believe the X'd scenes or the deleted scenes, and then you just hit next, and it's almost like each of the episodes is a different blog post on the website. Honestly, DVD menus get like no respect. So I'm just gonna fanboy over this for a quick sec, because I thought, like, out of a lot of the DVD menus for TV shows, this is definitely one of the most creative ones out there. You can even go here to lingo and basically like select the different languages that you would like. You even have different subtitles for a variety of different regions, just so that you can enjoy the show in the form that you believe is best. And I just really like the main iconic picture over there, spotted at Grand Central, beloved S. She hopped a limo and headed to the penthouse of B, her dearest and bestest friend. Chilly reception, party to one. Amazing. They put in a lot of work. It looks incredible. We are gonna go to pilot. So the go option, I'm pretty sure, is just like play all. And then it just plays like one after the other. So essentially it would be like, you know, the streaming experience. But I'm very particular about knowing the names of the episodes that I'm watching and just being immersed in that particular episode. And that's a cool thing about DVDs. You're sort of just like immersed in this world. Like I can't just exit and switch to another show or movie. I will be in the world of Gossip Girl at least until the disc is over, which is honestly something that I prefer. And before we get into the pilot, I would like to answer a question that you clearly have, which is, hey MMD, why are you dressed so snazzily? Well, I thought that I would want to look my best on not only a date with Gossip Girl, but also on a date with myself. So I decided to look really nice for myself so that I could enjoy some treats that I am also giving to myself this Valentine's. Now, people underestimate the power of self-love. Guys, love yourselves, appreciate yourselves. Like, we are not going anywhere this Valentine's Day because we have everything here, including that pineapple, which literally just feels like it's photoshopped in. But I appreciate how psych-like it is. If you guys know that show, cool. If you don't, forget I even said anything. But yeah, I just thought I would get me some Valentine's chocolates to enjoy my Gossip Girl experience. And yeah, I would highly recommend that you do this for yourself as well. Like once you get off work, just grab yourself a little bit of chocolate, grab your favorite show, and actually genuinely treat yourself. Like it is so important to treat yourself. I think even RuPaul says one of those things like,
if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else?
Grab your chocolate, grab your favorite show, and let's get this party started. All right, let's play, baby. There is like no volume. Iconic.
Hey Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, and I have the biggest news ever. Only a year ago,
This is such a throwback. Like, I still remember being, you know, like a teenager or a preteen just watching this show and being totally encapsulated by like what was going on. It's just, it just grips you. Also, Blake Lively is just, there's something about her where there's this magnetic energy that she has. Like the second that you see her, you're like, oh my God, this is somebody like super important. Like we have to care about her. I mean, there's so much happening, right? Like the episode just got started, and that's why this is like one of the stronger pilots, especially for like a teen drama. You're just getting introduced to literally all of the central characters within like, you know, the first couple minutes. The dynamic, they're like setting it out completely between, you know, Dan and Serena. Oof.
Everyone knows Serena.
Oh, those flip phones and the slide phones. This show encapsulated 2007, right? Like, and as somebody who had consciousness in 2007, I can like confirm that. And, oh my God. Okay, so the music, right? So like right now they're playing a Rihanna song. This show did so well with music. I'm literally just fanboying. Like on this date, I'm just complimenting the crap out of Gossip Girl because it's just iconic. That's actually not Blair's mother. I think they just had her for the pilot, and then in future episodes it's going to be played by like a completely different person. And then here we have Blair Waldorf, Nate Archibald, who, to be completely honest, are mainly just central to the pilot. And after that, there are some episodes where, like, you know, their storyline is important, but I mean, we all know in the long run how things unfold. Ugh, Chuck Bass. Wow. I don't even think we're 5 minutes in and this is already happening. Wow. Wow, we're just gonna open with our Justin Timberlake with that entrance, with there's so much happening, so much drama, guys. Literally 3 minutes in, all of this is happening right now. I'm like vibing. I'm vibing with this date, and I'm going to be eating some chocolate now. All right, let's see how we can open this while those two are doing things that should not be seen by anyone. Oh my God, wait. Oh my God, Serena's here. What will happen? And why does Blair want to lose her virginity? Oh, iconic. Wait. This. She sees Nate. Nate sees her. Boom. In the middle, Blair appears. the love triangle of the later aughts. This is what we were rooting for, right? Like, people were watching One Tree Hill and like Veronica Mars and all these other shows. Like, we were watching this. No tea, no shade to Veronica Mars. I love that show, but like, Gossip Girl really captured my heart. Leighton Meester is such an underrated actress. Like, there's so much nuance in the expressions that she gives, where she has to like balance, you know, this best frenemy actually, relationship that she has with Serena van der Woodsen. Here is the chocolate that I will be enjoying to show love to myself. And the brother is the reason that she returns. Oh yeah, and this is when the website looked like very, very different, because like, as we all know, later on it's like more black. A lot black, actually. Opening credits. Little Kinder heart.
You know, I've been better.
Oh my god. He's so adorable. This is what the inside looks like. It's like a creamy filling and then just chocolate on the outside. If you guys have never tried Kinder, please go check it out. It's great. And like, they're tackling suicide in 2007 for a teen show. That's great. And like, Gossip Girl isn't known for being like dark and gritty, but the show is actually like really, really dark at times. Also, Jenny Humphrey is my favorite character. I think I've mentioned this in the Gossip Girl complete series unboxing video as well, but her character is so cool and gets like no respect. Guys, Jenny is cool, okay? Like, I fully looked up to her growing up because I'm just like, damn, she wants something, she just goes for it. And I think like I was a bit younger than her when I was watching this show, so even just transitioning into high school, I was just like, oh my god, what would Jenny Humphrey do? Just kidding. I didn't actually take like direct inspiration from any of these characters because they're awful, but they're a whole lot of fun to watch. I mean, like, look at the chemistry, right? Everybody's getting along, everybody has their individual characteristics, personalities, which is something that I just did not see with the revival. That was just missing. Everyone was sort of like, oh hey guys, we're just here for a paycheck, let's try to get along for the sake of the show. But here you can sort of see that relationship between Rufus and Jenny. Like, yeah, clearly, you know, she's his daughter and he cares about her. He has a different relationship with Dan, maybe because he's a boy, maybe because he's older. Nuance, and it's so important. Like, people need to be able to read these things without it being super blatant. In the book, Serena and Nate made a lot of sense. In the show, I didn't really see it. Effing. Because primetime television, you can't really say swear words. The intense swear words. Chuck is like the worst creature ever. And while I do appreciate his character journey, he's just such a mess. Also, these kids are like super rich. What are they doing on a bus? Like, babes, if I had as much money as they did, I would literally never take the bus. Like, no tea, no shade. I mean, where I'm at, people are getting killed on the bus. Like, they literally get stabbed. It's a whole situation. Well, if you're in Toronto, be very wary of the TTC. Everyone's like lost their mind.
Saturday.
The acting though.
You're kind of not invited. You can go now.
I love Blair. I love Blair. I also like the background music. Bump, bump, the tension.
Looks like you got a lot of yogurt left. No, go ahead. Blair?
People were actually like this in high school. Actually, they got started early. They were like this in middle school, and then they were just like this in high school.
8 o'clock? Nate will wait. Spotted on
Ooh, Nate will wait. Nate will wait.
Thanks for making the time. You're my best friend. Did B think S would go down?
It's so, I love how they've shown this relationship, right? Because, I mean, we all know at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter who Serena ends up with or Blair ends up with. These guys were the OTP. These guys were the ones that we were rooting for the entire time. Okay, some people were rooting for, like, the ships as well, like the romantic ships, but their friendship was beyond iconic. And I haven't seen a show that's captured the nuances of, like, friendships or even female friendships the way that this show has, where around this age you sort of have that competitive passive aggressiveness towards your peers, and how you sort of navigate that without losing that person. And it takes respect on both ends. That is an old as F phone. I love the relationship. Like, Eric and Serena's relationship is just so adorable. And the casting, like, I would totally buy Serena as the daughter of William, who we see in season 3, I believe, and Lily Vanderwoodson.
This on me? Cool. Thanks.
Everyone's like super friendly. For now. I'm not sure if that's like a cigarette or if it's like pot or whatever, but they would often try to show Nate engaging, like, in season 1, early on, they would try to show Nate engaging in like pot, or they would make references to Nate being on pot, but wouldn't actually show it because I think it was just very taboo back then. I'm glad they didn't stick with it because Nate's entire personality in the books was just smoking pot, and I could never understand what Blair and Serena would see in Nate. And what I really liked about the books is the original ending for the books is actually Blair and Serena just choosing each other over Nate, and sort of just like leaving him alone. Who moves to Connecticut from New York of all places? Everybody's dressed so well. You know, that was the other thing with this show. The fashion was on another level. Like, people would literally blog after episodes would come out about like, oh my god, what was this person wearing? Where do I get it? Like, sort of what they do with Euphoria now, where they're like, where did Cassie get her swimsuit? Where did like, Lexi get her bookish clothes? And like, people, or even Rue's iconic like red hoodie, green alien shirt with the shorts and the Converse. Like, people would do that like crazy with Gossip Girl, and they were known for their fashion and their fashion styling. It's not even been 20 minutes and we already know a lot, like the main dynamics between a lot of the characters, at least for the first season, right? Because obviously the show's going to evolve after the mid-season finale, because that's when they're sort of going to start exploring other storylines based on fan feedback. But for what they had in mind for the initial premise of the show, the pilot does a really good job of setting all of that up. I think at some point I should actually do a deep dive into the pilot and just like how it's structured, because it's a good pilot to learn from. Like, I know when Gossip Girl initially came out, it didn't have the best reviews, but I think it was because a lot of the adults were like, oh my god, how can this be a show for teenagers? Like, this was basically our Euphoria, right? A lot of the things happening on this show was that, like, when we were younger and we were watching it, it was changing the way that TV worked. It was challenging a lot of tropes on television. People weren't happy. Parents weren't happy. They were like, oh my god, this show is totally not okay for kids. Ooh, burn. The dialogue is also very witty, and not witty band. I wrote this pilot, guys. I wrote this pilot. I am Josh Schwartz. JK, I wish. That everything's like, the dialogue is very witty, but it's not witty for the sake of being witty. It's witty in line with the characters. Chuck's wittiness is based on how much of a sleazebag he is. Her wittiness is based on just the Serena-ness of the situation. Compared to the first episodes, or even the first season, even though I haven't watched it, I can already tell you this one episode is better than any episode of the Gossip Girl revival, because it just pulls you in. It tells you what the characters are looking for. It introduces the drama, establishes like plot lines that we're basically going to be sticking with for the remainder of the season. And it's using Gossip Girl as a narrator, or as like a narrative factor to piece the show together. So very creative, very well done. I don't know why I'm talking like a critic. Like, I just really like the show. So just a heads up, this Chuck's character was very intense in the first episode, and what they ended up doing with his character later on was mainly a creative decision, because he wasn't, I think, supposed to stick around he wasn't supposed to have as big of a role as he ended up having as the show progressed. I do not think that I could be friends with somebody who, engaged in a situationship with my significant other, but then again, I also would not be in a relationship with that significant other for engaging in a situationship with a best friend who would be an ex-best friend at that point. But this shows the lives of rich people and how they're all mentally unstable and do really questionable things and still stay friends with people who stab them in the back. But this show really convinced you back in the day. Like, I was just like, oh my god, like, rich people have, like, problems too, you know? Like, it must be so hard to have all this money and not have your mom love you. Like, now I don't give two Fs. But, no, it's cute. It's cute. Everybody has problems. Everybody deals with them differently. Remember when Timbaland just owned the late 2000s? Oh yeah, Nelly Furtado too, but I don't know if she's featured in the show. I know he is. Perfect soulmate. Talk to me, girl.
Who's the newbie?
This is the dancing part of the date.
Fresh.
Where is Timbaland? I remember him doing Empire and then he just like disappeared from the face of the earth and I'm just like, bruh, we need your music.
Wait.
Oh, gross. I actually feel really bad for Jenny in this situation because Chuck literally has no business being a junior
Looks like a legit
talking
man
to
with boy
a freshman,
in the inner circle.
especially after he just tried to essay Serena literally
I told you
yesterday.
that.
Oh, and also, if I'm like talking too much, it's only because I need to be providing commentary on all of these scenes. Otherwise, I get flagged for like copyright problems. So yeah, I do have a lot to say about the show also, so that actually works out. I don't think there's any show that I've like done or reacted to on this channel that I've had this much to say about while watching an episode. Then again, I've seen this episode like a bajillion times, so of course there's a lot for me to say. But want to. This is completely disgusting and awful. Oh my god, Jenny, girl, get out of there. See, I mean, like, she's even texting, like, she feels so unsafe. And it's like, even at that age, you don't actually know how to react in these situations, right? Like, you're with somebody who is an adult or older than you, and you're like, oh, as a human being, they would be respectful. And then you find out that they're not going to be, and that people are just garbage. And you have to be, like, on guard for the rest of your life, and it's not good. She's smart. Like, and that kind of gives you some insight into her character too, right? Like, she's been in these situations. She does get involved in a lot of romantic situations, so she knows the good that can come with it and the bad that can come with it, which is why I sort of like how she's the one who suggested, hey, let's go upstairs. Nice! I love Dan. Nice. Everybody just beat on Chuck. He's such a douchebag, honestly. Like, okay, you know everything. Well, hey, I mean, Blair does now too, so. Man, Leighton Meester was so, like, just so captivating. Like, I mean, I'm sure she is now. I just don't see her in a lot of TV shows, but I'm sure if she was on screen in another TV show that had stakes as high as Gossip Girl, like, there's something so captivating about her. I wish she had, like, an even bigger career. Ugh. Whatever, Nate. You contributed literally nothing. I feel like this scene, probably when they were filming this scene, is when they were like, oh, these two are so evil. Let's give them more things to do as the show goes on. I will give Josh Schwartz this. As far as like his writing goes, we already know it's fantastic, but I don't know if he's the one who does the music selection for the show as well, but the music really captures the vibe of Gossip Girl.
Too bad for her, there's school on Monday.
Oh yeah, the mirroring. We sort of see her like that on the train. Now we see her as like that in a car. This was a lot of fun. As you can see, the pilot is incredible. I kind of wonder if I would want to make like a video essay just, you know, going over the pilot just so that it's a lot more organized as opposed to it being super spontaneous. But I know video essays is something I definitely want to explore a lot more with this channel. I'm just always strapped for time just because of like work and side gigs and stuff like that. But it's definitely something for me to consider. But I mean, this was a great way for me to spend Valentine's Day. Like 12 out of 10 would recommend. Like, you know, as far as like going on a date, it is awesome to just go on this kind of a date. You got the chocolate, you got an incredible cast of characters, and yeah, it's so nostalgic and it's so weirdly enough, it still holds up after all this time. So I would say, you know what, like this Valentine's, definitely have a self-love Valentine's where you just show yourself appreciation, do the things that you want to do. Of course, if you're like in a relationship or whatever, then, you know, obviously you have to cater to the other person. But for those of us lucky enough to be single, you can pay attention to yourself, respect yourself, treat yourself the way that you want to be treated. I hope you guys enjoyed this experience. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope everybody's doing whatever it is that they want to be doing on Valentine's Day, as long as it's sane and legal, so, and moral and ethical, you know what I mean. But yeah, thank you so much for being on this journey and also helping me fulfill one of the things that I put on my New Year's list. This was a commentary on the Gossip Girl pilot, which I think is just a work of art and total genius, and is basically the OC set in New York. And I couldn't have asked for a better show, let alone a better book adaptation for a TV show. Netflix could never. Make sure to give this video a like. Leave a comment down below on what you think of the Gossip Girl pilot and what you think of the show as a whole, because I know there's a lot of wild, passionate fans out there. And if you are a wild, passionate fan, or if you just really like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because it'll help me hit another goal for the new year, to get more subscribers. Show yourself some love and get yourself some candy. Have a good one. Bye.